Peace almighty, peace blood. Peace almighty, peace blood. 50-50 love, 50-50 love. Death to all those who go against blood. Remember that? Huh? I've been sitting back and watching little clips and hearing little things. Let's get the OG Mack. I had to take my glasses off for that one. Let's get the OG Mack, right? Let's keep it all the way funky, right? A lot of y'all dudes talking about OG Mack, right? But y'all couldn't walk a mile in his shoes. OG Mack was the glue to the UBN. Not only was OG Mack the glue to the UBN, but when he wasn't a part of the UBN no more because y'all was so proud and so happy to tell his little secret about him being a snitch and him ratting at the age of 15 years old. Also a case that he actually went and had overturned because he was child. He was a child and he was 15 years old. Yeah, he did wrong. OG Mack did bad. But the reality of it is, some of us is going to remember OG Mack for who he was to us and not to y'all. See, I had the opportunity of actually putting in work in the streets with OG Mack after I came home from jail. I don't have to get into the details, but the first time I met OG Mack in the streets was Shaka Dawn. It was me, Shaka Dawn, OG Mack, Xavier Williams, and Terrence standing out outside on a block, outnumbered. And we ain't even have to put in work. It was a conversation held, and niggas was outnumbered. I was sitting up there saying to Terrence, like, yo, how we gonna make it out of this shit? Remember that, T? Remember that, X? But nevertheless, OG Mack, let's get back. Let's take it back. Let's be real, right? Oh, right. Real right. Back when we was real rights. Let's keep it all the way funky. A lot of y'all dudes that joined the UBN and decided that y'all wanted to be blood, y'all leaving out the fact that by the time y'all got to Rikers Island or got up north, the work was already put in. The pain was already put in. You dudes that be bragging about coming home with no cuts on your face didn't have to deal with you didn't have to go against all odds. How Pac said, all of my true motherfuckers know this be the realest shit I ever wrote. Y'all didn't have to go against all odds. Going in the house and everybody, you know what it's like to go in a house where it's 50 people on this side and 50 people on that side, and the whole house is against you? Where you had to go to court and go in the bullpens and everybody in the bullpens was spitting out razors on you. Y'all dudes came to jail when it was easy. And now y'all bragging. And that's the shit that's killing me. OG Mack, I remember the feeling. You know what I want to remember the Bloods for? I'm gonna tell you what I want to remember them for in this conversation right here. You know what it felt like to be blood and to go in the court bullpens, and you know you outnumbered, and you see the E-Rickets. Remember we used to call them Germans, E-Rickets. The E-Rickets would go to the toilet to go try to get their razor out real quick, and you think that you in the pen by yourself, but you got a nigga in a cut with his back against the wall. And as soon as he heard you say, because we just had a habit of saying blood up before we got busy. And next thing you know, you ain't even know son is in the pens. He blood. He start getting busy. You not even in the next pen over. There's another blood in there outnumbered. He started. Do you know what it felt like? The feeling that OG Mack put in those prisons when we had our back against the wall? To know that you had a brother that was your brother that you ain't never met. You don't even know this nigga mother. But when it was time to get busy, yo, that was the feeling. When you walking down those corridors of C-74 and you going on the visiting floor and the E-Rickets pop off on you on the visiting floor and another homie jumps up and y'all getting busy together. He don't give a, he not even worried about not going on a visit anymore. He going straight to the box, catching a new one. If it was on. When a homie told you, yo, he food right there. And dudes are eating right there. That feeling right there, that came from OG Mack. I don't care what you dudes say. It came from OG Mack, but let's speed up. Matter of fact, we ain't even got to speed up. Let's salute to some of the names that was there from the beginning. Shout out to Tankhead. But no diss to Tankhead. Tankhead, T-Bone, dudes was fools. When I say fools, I mean they got busy. Dudes was fools. Getting busy. But they was in a box. The dudes that really built, that helped build Bloods as well, was the ones that was in population, making it safe for you to come in the house to get commissary. Making it safe for you to go to the yard. Those are the ones that, shout out to the ones like Tankhead and T-Bone and them, Papa Jock, Benji. Shout out to those dudes. But then don't forget the 50-50 love as well. Them dudes that you had like Smooch that was in C-74, Mark II. The dudes that you had, Bishi, you had Rel, you had K-Born, Tattoo. All them dudes from Fort Greene. You had dudes that really was putting in pain. You had Red. You had a lot of dudes that don't get no recognition. The dudes like Germ, who was Muslim at first, but then went over to being Blood because y'all started putting the pressure on dudes. Oh, you can't be Muslim and Blood. Why not? Most of the Bloods that started off in the beginning was Muslim. So then when the Bloods became the strength, it went from, oh, you can't be Muslim and Blood anymore. Or you can't be 5% and Blood anymore. Now you just got to be Blood. If the Bloods and the Muslims go to war with each other, what side are you on? But let's get back to OG Mack. Let's keep it all the way funky. If it wasn't for OG Mack having Pistol Pete come home, Soundview wouldn't be Blood. Soundview, Bronx River, that whole area, that is the dog pound. If it wasn't for dudes if it wasn't for OG Mack, let's really talk about it. Pete was getting money. Dudes like Xavier Williams wouldn't have became Blood. I mean, some of y'all, shout out to y'all other superiors or whatever you want to call yourself. I mean, y'all had dudes come home under y'all, but look at the dudes that y'all had come home under y'all now. The dudes that OG Mack had come to that table was generals in the streets. See, OG Mack ain't here to control what's going on the outside or the inside like that anymore because we already know where he's at. But look what the Bloods have become on the internet coming home. All of the dudes that say they was somebody, bragging about who they was what and where. Look at them on the internet, how they disgracing each other. You got dudes like China Brim taking elite dudes that was in the penitentiary and turning them into crash dummies on his platform, where you got Bloods banging on Bloods and telling Blood business on the internet just to get notoriety from a dude that's half retarded and clowning them. And the sad part about it is, like I said, taking it back to C-74, we made it safe for each other to walk through those hallways. Now you got dudes on the internet that's putting Bloods on the internet. Now let's keep in mind, some of these Bloods was really putting in work in the penitentiary. Niggas was banging out. So what you think is going to happen sooner or later when you got a dude like China Mack and Harlem Legend sitting back screaming Hassan words, are you not entertained? As two Bloods go to war with each other like little kids on the internet. What happens when they bump into each other in the streets? And them two niggas know that the dudes that they putting against each other really have a life of getting busy. Dudes went to jails for dropping bodies. Dudes went to jail for dropping bodies. Inside jail was getting busy, and now they home on the internet looking like lames. All in the name of 050 the movement. What? Take the what and leave? This is like, and then the sad part about it is, you got niggas like Shaquille that'll actually get up on 050 platform with his chest out smiling like he's somebody, and he's seeing that within the set, or niggas that's coming from the set, they set tripping on the internet, committing treason. You scoring points from the enemy. OG Mack had it feeling good to be blood. Let's talk about the fact that y'all sitting up there calling OG Mack a rat, right? Y'all calling OG Mack a rat, right? But Trife Gangsta and Shaquille is under the 501c3 getting paid. When have you ever seen a gang member getting paid more than the mayor? Trife Gangsta was making $500,000 a year for his organization and his council meetings and sitting down with the same people who oppressed us. There was a time where Huey P. Newton and the rest of the Black Panther Party was persecuted for trying to get free lunch. Now we living in a day and a time where you got GKB members, superiors, actually sitting down with the colonizer. I wonder how the conversations is going. Because we all know nothing in life comes for free. Let's keep it all the way funky. I mean, damn. Rest in peace to Trife. Rest in peace to Trife brother, Banger. But niggas was in court looking for justice. Never mind. Let's get back to OG Mack. Shout out to all the dudes that was part of the first generation in the C-74 in the 4 building, between the 4 building and HDM. Because the reality of it is, that's where the heart and the blood of this came from. A lot of y'all dudes are sitting up there bragging, talking about, well, this one, all the umbrellas that came from OG Mack don't matter. Because if it wasn't for OG Mack putting in the groundwork, and I don't want to hear nothing about, see, that's another thing too, right? I heard them dudes talking about, yo, OG Mack wasn't putting in no work. He wasn't supposed to. You ever seen Donald Trump put in work? You ever seen the mayor put in work? No. He sent the soldiers out. He's a general. And yeah, he did put in work. Y'all dudes is lying. But y'all mad. Because what he was trying to do was finesse and lay down the groundwork in population like he was supposed to. You can't really make no moves in a box. That's what the soldiers is for. It is what it is, man. And that's why to today's time, the Bloods will never be the same. Shout out to OG Mack, man. Free OG Mack. When OG Mack did what he did, he was 15 years old when he told. And he did everything to make it right so the dude that he told on could come home from prison. He did everything to make it right for the dude that he told on to come home from prison. He was 15 years old. OG Mack will go down in history in the hearts of some of us that threw it up. 031 blood. And y'all can't erase that. No matter what y'all say about OG Mack, some of us gonna love him to the death. Peace, almighty. Peace, blood. Peace, almighty. Peace, blood. When we got our numbers up, and you heard peace, almighty, peace, blood, when you heard that in North Facility in the box, the whole jail got quiet. It shook the whole building. Shout out to OG Mack.